Thanks for tuning in again, everybody. We're back with your favorite podcast, Luca's Tigers and Bronze. Oh my.
You know what stuck out about you, man?
Yeah.
I like people like you. I think we talk about this with Cage. Like, you have this personality. You got this huge personality. You're hilarious. And I think you're low key super smart about how you use it too. Like, if I were just to look at you and your personality, I'd be like, man, this dude, what is he? And then I go to his and look at your collection, and I'm like,
Yeah.
This
I
guy's
think
smart.
the fact that you said that, you hit it exactly on the head, because I know I come off as maybe a little erratic. This guy's just talking crazy, blah, blah, blah. But then what the content of what I'm saying maybe is like, I can explain it because I love the hobby. Like, this is my life right now. You know what I mean? So I'm all in, full in. And, you know, I have like the history to prove it. You know what I mean? Like, some of the cards I got, like, there's no way I could afford any of that stuff now. You're absolutely nuts. You know, no way. So it's an interesting little story and stuff. So wait, are we waiting for Cage or?
Cage just jumped in. He was doing business deals right before this, so we got to be patient with the man. Cage.
Business deals. Dude.
Hey, how are you?
Fun. What's up, Shy? Is it Shay? Shy? You know, it's like SGA. We don't know how to say.
Alexander, yeah.
Luca Nation. Today we have a really, really special Market Movers episode. I love the Market Movers segments because what's cool about them is just everyday people that started in the hobby, that are making a living for themselves doing it. And there's going to be a ton of knowledge here. And today we got someone that I think you guys know. He's a personality, man. I'm excited for him and Cage to chop it because they're both New Yorkers. Shaiwayvlogs is with us here. What's up, Shai?
How are you?
Isn't it Shaiway? Isn't there like Shaiwayvlogs? Yeah. There's like I think you lost a syllable on him, Andrew.
Yeah, it's Shaiwayvlogs.
Shayway, see? Shayway.
Yeah. But yeah, first, just thank you for having me. I'm humbled. I'm honored. You know, I'm a big fan of your stuff, believe it or not. I listen to your stuff and I watched you guys get bigger and bigger because the way you guys interact with each other, like how Cage personality is, you know, like high pace, and then we have Andrew, very calm. It's a great balance you guys have.
Thank you.
With that. So
I'm only calm when people come with the right spreads on Sunday morning. When people bring the wrong NFL lines, I get very upset.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen that.
No, I'm messing. But tell me, so do you go by Shai or Shaiway? What do you go by?
Yeah, my first name is Shador, like my birth name, given name Shador. It's just easier. All my friends call me Shay. So I just go by Shay basically. Yeah.
Shador, I like it. So next week we can have his cousin Hodor on. It's great. I love it. Hodor. No, so listen. My full name is Cage Door. So it's all. Listen, we're gonna call you Shay. We're gonna do it. I have to jump into something. I have to tell this guy. I'm excited to have you on because I loved the video that you did. And guys, if you're just gonna watch one thing, just to know who we have on here, he was doing a live opening of his PSA return, right? Oh. And basically, PSA sent them the wrong stuff. And I know, look, this happens, and PSA made right on it, and I'm gonna tell the whole story. But all you need to know about this guy is the face he made when he opened it up, and it was basically like, the fuck? Like, what is this? It's family friendly. Andrew's gonna be mad at me. It's so authentic, so original. Like, that was like you couldn't have paid for better content than that. I was watching it and I'm like, oh, this is a nightmare. And then, but what's funny, and I'm gonna let you tell the story, but what's funny, I'll throw my question out there and then we can get into it, right? I thought to myself, I'm like, I wonder if the cards he was trying to get back were significantly better cards than the one he got back. Like, I try to put myself in the position, right? It was almost like a psychological test, right? Like, you got back somebody else's cards, right? And you're live. Like, does it creep into your brain? Like, let me look at these cards before I go nuts on this live. And so, if it's filled with like PSA 10 Tom Brady Chrome rookies and they're worth thousands of dollars, maybe I'm like, oh, these are my cards.
Oh,
so, I mean,
that's funny.
I don't know. but go ahead, tell that story, man. Tell how that happened.
Yeah,
And
so I did a couple of live reveals, and I was expecting a 35 card order from PSA. So I went on live, just doing it. It was the first step was with PCS Sports Cards. He's also out in New York, and and it's weirdly I said it when I was opening it. It was like a small 8-card order, and I was like, always count your cards. You know what I mean? Make sure the first thing is you got the right amount of cards. You know what I mean? Then check it. So everything was fine and smooth. So then on live, I was like, let's which box should we open? There's 2 boxes. And I was like, let's open the smaller one, lighter one, so we can get through it faster. You know what I mean? So as soon as I opened it, I instantly realized that was probably my reaction. I think Lamine James even like made a meme. I know it's a family of kids friendly type show. I actually throughout the whole video, just in a nutshell, I said the F word 46 times in about 26 minutes, which I'm so embarrassed about. I had to make an apology. Actually, it's something my parents are not gonna, be proud of. They're gonna be like, "You really speak like that? Who are you? Is this my kid?" So, the first box I opened, there were I think 7 Brady cards there that instantly I knew they were not mine, because I had a few Tom Brady's, but this is
New Yorkers don't buy Tom Brady cards.
I'm one of those few guys that did buy a couple of small ones.
Okay.
Notes from the captain. I think you guys know him. He's like a huge Brady collector, Peyton Manning. So anyways, as soon as I saw the cards, I was like, this is definitely not mine. And then then I checked the next box, and I realized that I was missing cards. So total 35 card order. I got back 26 in total, and out of the 26, 7 were not mine. So I was actually missing 16 cards. That was a great question Cage asked. I actually said it before. What if I get a box just full of PMGs? You know what I mean? What do I do?
Yeah.
What do you? I actually, if you go back to my older lives, I used to joke around with this stuff, and somehow God made it just happen. You know what I mean? So obviously people saw the video. I think it got like 3.1 thousand views, and I was always wondering, I know hashtags in that video. I was like, how the hell people are watching this? And then I looked at the analytics, and I was like, it got shared like 400 times in like group messages. So I was just being passed around like a hobby. I don't want to say the H word, but it's a friendly thing. You know what I'm trying to say, though.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, so so that happened, and then that night, literally, I was on the phone with Vice President of Customer Relations. He's a new hire, David Steinberger. Big shout out to him. He's actually from New York, also. I don't know if he's related to the Yankees Steinberger. I have no clue. I always forget to ask that if you're a real Steinberger or not. But anyway, honestly, I always forget to ask him. I should know. I don't know.
You should lead with that next time.
So what's funny about this is he's going to get to the story, but here I come in and I give Shayway a little bit of a hard time about his name. I give Shay Door and his Cage Door and Hodor, and little does he know he's giving Andrew Goldberg a hard time now because Steinbrenner and Steinberger are not the same thing.
Oh God.
It reminds me of a joke. I'm gonna tell it really quick. It's one of my father's old horrible dad jokes. And he says, "Oh man, basically, I don't know. Can I take these jokes? It's not PC, Andrew. I guess I got to do it now."
I think our audience needs it. Needs it.
All right, if you are a member of the PC police, then fast forward the next 35 seconds, and if your ears can take it, then here we go. It's a non-PC joke for you guys. My apologies, but my dad used to tell this, so take it where it's coming from. He says, he's at 2 guys at a bar, right? It's a Chinese guy and a Jewish guy, and they're drinking and they're getting drunk, right? So they're drinking, they're getting a little belligerent drunk, right? And the Jewish guy, he punches the Chinese guy, he knocks him right off the bar stool, and the Chinese guy gets up and he says, "What the hell did you do that for?" And the Jewish guy says to him, "That was for Pearl Harbor." The Chinese guy says, "Pearl Harbor? I'm Chinese. That was the Japanese. What the hell's wrong with you?" So they get back up on the stool. He starts drinking a little bit more. They're drinking. And the Chinese guy hauls off and punches the Jewish guy, knocks him right onto the ground. The Jewish guy looks up at him and he says, "Hey, what the hell did you do that for?" And he goes, "That was for the Titanic." The Titanic? That was an iceberg. And he looks at him and says, "Iceberg, Goldberg, you're all the same."
Oh.
Shy, I need to know. Okay, so tell us your origin story. It's okay.
Apologies.
I like that. I like it.
I already messed up the Steinberger and Steinbrenner, all that, man. They're all oh God. Oh God.
Yeah.
Anyway, my origin story. Wait, I mean, you want me to start with the origin story or continue this whole PSA?
Well, tell us about PSA, because I want you to give a shout out. Obviously, they gave you like 117 backpacks. You got like vouchers. You got hats and gloves, and you're basically gonna wear PSA clothes for the rest of your life. It's gonna be, but yeah, obviously they did the right thing. So give them their credit for doing the right thing.
I'll just sum it up. So, anyways, so yeah, that night I was on the phone with David. I'm not even gonna say his last name because I don't even know if it's Steinberger or Steinberner or whatever. But he's David, and he's a good guy. So anyway, he's a new hire and stuff. And I was on the phone with him that night. He was like, "What happened? Blah blah blah." Tell me. I told him exactly what happened. And I eventually sent him the video. And and then the next day he instantly was like, "Hey Shay, we actually have your cards. It never left PSA." I was like, "What do you mean?" You know what I mean? I thought somebody else had my cards, like anybody else. So he said that the box was still here. Is like the reason we have your box is the mix-up that was supposed to happen. The other person's credit card on file was not good. So his order never left. So thank God, if his credit card was good, the box of the 16 cards I'm missing, he would have got it. And guess what? The 7 Brady's that I got, they were worth under 1,000. And the 16 cards that I'm missing were worth around maybe 4K ish, you know what I mean? Plus or minus 500. So I got the cards back within a few days, and then David saw the video and he was like, "Oh wow, you know what I mean? This is a lot of people in the hobby are seeing this, and even the comments are saying I'm never giving my money to PSA, FPSA, BGS all the way, blah blah blah." And it's a publicity thing, and then a lot of like solid guys in the community like follow me, you know what I mean? So it's the word will get around. So David knew. I was like, "Yo, this is obviously a huge thing. Unfortunately, it happened on live, and I'm easy to work with, and we can make things, perfect." So he recommended. Wait, I don't see you guys. You guys still on the screen? Hello?
I'm right here, brother. I hear you perfectly.
Just went blank, so I wasn't sure if.
Sorry, man. I put it on mute. My apologies.
Oh, so basically what he did was I had a few more orders at PSA. He just expedited them, got them to basically further line. And on their behalf, I'm happy with that outcome. And on their side, they're probably happy too, because it actually didn't cost them anything. So when I got my cards back, I went, obviously, before I got my cards back, I went on, I made a little video saying, explaining the situation, what happened. And, I had to throw in a little Kendrick Perkins, if it ain't PSA, don't bring it our way, all that stuff. Because I'm obsessed with that line. That video, it shook me to the core. And I just couldn't stop repeating anything he's, everything was just video. And I was like, this is Kendrick Perkins? Okay, I like him. Anyway, so I made a video, introduction with Kendrick Perkins, the whole line of, the PSA stuff. And David Steinberger saw it. I was like, "Yo, man, that was a really good video, blah, blah. I really appreciate the shout out." And, everything was very transparent. I didn't lie about anything. It was very straightforward. Because if this ever happens to someone, God forbid, like, they're in good hands. I'm not just like a PSA fanboy now, but I'm just giving you from my personal experience of what happened. I've never used BGS or SGC. And, I probably never will, to be honest, because I can go on with all their mishaps. I don't want to start ranting on them. But anyway, so I opened the box. So I opened the box on live, the cards that I was missing. And the box is very big for 16 cards. So I had a feeling there was going to be some goodies in there. So I'm thinking, what? Somebody would message me, was like, "Yo, I think they're going to give you some autographed memorabilia." I'm like,
you guys got to watch this video too, because it's not summer here in New York. It's actually pretty damn cold. In this video, he opened up. I don't know what he was doing. It looks like he just ran the Boston Marathon. I mean, the dude is like dripping wet. I don't know if like UPS came into the PSA box while you were in the shower. I don't know what happened, dude.
Hold on, Cage. Because there's a lot of comments saying, "Why are you sweating like crazy?"
Yeah, why is the heat on in his building? I don't know what's going on.
Do you remember a week ago it was 75 degrees in November? Come on.
Yeah, it was one day that was like unruly hot. Yep.
That's that one day I happened to open up that package. Go back and see the dates. I don't mind. But
dude, so I'll check it, but I think really what it was, and maybe you don't want to admit this, is that you were just a little nervous. You were getting another PSA package. You open it up and you're like, "I'm sweating here. What are they going to send me now? Yeah. Maybe they're going to send me a whole bunch of PSA 3s.
Yeah.
Somebody else's stuff."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was definitely a little nervous doing that live. I wasn't, I didn't know what I was expecting. But obviously, I don't know if you saw the video. They gave me a PSA shirt, which was 10x. I'm a
Oh,
small.
dude,
It
I
was
want
10.
that shirt. Finally, a shirt that can fit me. I saw it. I was
Yeah.
like, oh,
Hey,
PSA makes clothes that'll fit me.
you know what? I wore it that one time. It didn't even touch my skin. I had a shirt underneath it, so it's still clean. I could even wash it. You could have it. All right. But so yeah, they gave me a PSA shirt, and then they gave me what was it? A book bag. You know what I mean? Cute little book bag. And funny thing, I already had one of those book bags. So back then, when you're a platinum member, you get a free book bag.
Yep.
So I already had a book bag. And then they also gave me this little PSA stand, which I love the most, believe it or not. The product that cost
the lucite one, the lucite, the glass, so you could
Yeah,
hold
yeah.
up a card in, right? Like a card stand. They're pretty awesome, those.
Yeah, it was very well made. So that's my low-key endorsement in that product.
What's the one card you're gonna put in that holder though? Because now that's like a display case. What do you put in there?
I'm closing a big deal on like a nice card. I should be getting it in the next few days, but I just realized it's a BGS card. So then I can use it on the PSA holder.
It won't fit. It'll be too thick.
Anyway, I did pick up some Dallas, some nice PSA cards. I'll definitely throw one in there to use it. So after that, that was it. So everything got resolved, and I got all my orders back. Actually, I have 93 cards here in 3 boxes from 3 orders I had at PSA. He actually pumped them out. So I'm thankful. I'll probably be on live sometime this week and see what. There's actually a little bit of drama in one of the boxes. So I'll be on live soon, and then you guys will see what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna get too into it right now because I don't know how I'm gonna go about it, to be honest.
Drama. I can't wait to hear what this is about. What kind of drama could there be?
There's drama in the boxes.
There's so much drama in the PSA. I love it.
Just one of the boxes, something, whatever. We'll get to it.
It doesn't work. You got to do SGC returns. It sounds better if I'm going to do like West Coast rap. There's so much drama in the SGC. Sounds better than so much drama in the PSA. It's rhymes better,
Such a big problem with SGC. Their marketing is so horrendous. They don't know what they're doing. It's kind of sad. Like, they need a new marketing department. Look, I'm going to go on this little side tangent, but I'm not going to go too deep into it. The first thing they did is they deactivated the comments on their Instagram profile. Who do you think you are? We're giving you cards. We're paying you. We're giving you money. We can't post your opinion. You got to deactivate the comments. We can't even comment anything. What kind of backbone is that for a company? And then you say,
they think they're thinking they're Drake or something? What are they doing?
Thank you, Andrew. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And guess what?
I like Drake's cakes.
Guess what? If SGC was half smart, they could have done limited comments. You know what that is, right? Like, only people that they follow can comment. You know what I mean? So
why do you think they disabled them?
Because obviously they were getting a lot of negative type hate comments, but you got to take the criticism and have a good social media presence to like express it a good way. That's
I remember the day they shut their comments down, and they got
exactly what I'm
47 comments from the same guy, and his name was like bgslover.com, and he just kept posting, I love BGS. I'm just playing.
Okay. I feel like it's an opportunity though. Like, if their social media account guy just responds back like, hey, we're working on it, appreciate your feedback, people actually respect that.
Exactly. Open communication. Don't be scared. It's a lot of money these cards we're giving them. They're not like little dolls, like $5 10-cent dolls. You know what I mean? These are expensive cards.
We're not sending them Crazy Bones.
Andrew has
are
dolls.
long gone.
Andrew's going to send his dolls in for grading now. Let me just throw a little exclamation point on the grading thing, because this is normally I'm the irrational and lunatic in the group, which is fine. But I just want to say this, right? Every one of these companies has issues. Can I say it that way, right? I mean, we talk about your live with the PSA stuff. I sent in a PSA sub recently that they called me and they damaged the card. Like, the card got pinched by one of their new slabbers, and it was a 10. And obviously, all I got back on it was the value I declared on the card, which nobody declares a high value on a card. And usually, the card, if it was a PSA 10, is going to be worth significantly more than what you declared. So that's kind of a bite in the ass. And I mean, BGS, I had issues with BGS, and now BGS is like, we get 47 messages a day from different accounts saying, can you post this for us? Spread this around. Look at this BGS store. I don't know why people want to spread it around so badly. I don't get it. But but they stop messaging me to message it. You message it. But everybody knows about this BGS stuff now. I mean, you know what I'm talking about, Andrew. I'm like, what?
So,
Like every 5
we
minutes.
haven't connected on this, and I had the exact same thought.
I'm like, what the hell? But and SGC, trust me, I got SGC stories too. I've spent so much money on SGC cards,
Wow.
and you know, wind up like, oh, I'm gonna cross this over, and basically everyone that I've done that for has come back from PSA as trimmed. So that's the little summary I have on SGC. So I got stories for everyone. Trust me.
That is nuts. And okay, now that was my little SGC little rant. Now with BGS, just small little thing I just want to get at. I just found out that to submit, I never used BGS. I just found out to submit, you have to print out a paper. You have to handwrite the cards. Is that what it is? They have no system, the internet. You know how PSA, you type in, you know, Zion Prism, boom, how many quantity, you know, you could add. With BGS, you got to like handwrite it. What are we, 1940? I don't like, that's, come on.
Right. And then you fax it in. You don't like that? You don't like that user interface?
No, I don't.
The
You
user
don't
experience?
use a fax. Be nice.
They're
You
using
don't use
fax.
a fax.
Be nice.
No,
That's
Pony,
crossing the line.
It's
I'm
Pony
sorry.
Express. You use the Pony Express.
But I'll say something. You know, Shay.
Yeah.
You mentioned irrational. He's actually extremely thoughtful, and we were talking about this a little bit offline right before you joined Cage, and it seems to me, and I want to hear the origin story because you know there's not a lot about you online of where you came from. Like I see all your content. I've watched your cards spinning around with the soundtrack of Lil Wayne, Kobe Bryant behind it, which is a must follow, a must see on you. But tell us your origin story because I would love to know like where you came from, how you found yourself here.
It's actually pretty strange. It may sound unbelievable, but that's why I have proof for everything because the internet will judge you and hold you to their throat, you know, if you're caught on some nonsense. So, anyways, born in '87 in Bangladesh, Sylhet. I don't know if you know what that is. It's a small country next to India, in a tiny village, believe it or not, like the slum, like village. You know what I mean? And I came to America when I was in 1991 when I was 4 years old, and you know, went through kindergarten, went through my education, and around 6th, 7th grade is when I actually got into collecting. I was around maybe 12, 13 years old, and that was around 1998, 99, and guess the hottest player was Kobe Bryant. You know what I mean? So I was a big Kobe guy from, you know, my early teen days, watching him, and I just loved the NBA. It was like a family thing in my house. Like my dad, my parents, we all just watched it. You know, it was like one of those family gathering things. So, you know, that's why I really, you know, I went hard with, you know, getting nice Kobe cards.
Any brothers, sisters?
Yeah, so I have an older sister. She's married. She's 33. I have a younger sister that's 25, and then I have a younger brother that's 24. So me and my older sister were born in Bangladesh. My two other siblings, they were born in America. So, you know, they think they're cooler than, you know, us, obviously.
I was going to ask, do you look at them? Do you look at them a little different?
Yeah.
Like, you don't know what we've been through?
Personally, I feel like they get away with more crap than me and my older sister just because they were born in America. And I told my parents, why, you scared of them? Because they're American. They're American born. That's why you scared of them? Like, how come they that? And if I did like that, I'm like getting that and slapped and like, what the hell, you know, like just getting killed. So, you know, like I voice my opinion, you know, I'm always voicing my, you know, if I have concerns, I don't care. So, yeah, so that was my collecting, I guess. So I collected around 7th grade for maybe 2 years, you know, a couple of random Kobe's, nothing big. I actually had a friend, he collected. We actually traded back in the day, you know what I mean? Like, I'll give you these cards for that card. All raw in binders. So, like, that was like my origin. So then when I got to high school, you know, I stopped collecting, you know, as like a lot of other people.
Yes, we do.
And then, so that was around 98. And then I got, you know, fast forward, you know, went to college, all that stuff. Fast forward to 2012, 2013, I had an online business, right? So I had a huge drop shipping business that, you know, I sold later on few years. But while I was having an online business, you know, there's PayPal and eBay and Shopify and everything involved. So I just went on eBay and I was like, damn, you know, because I was always, you know, I was on eBay a lot, but not for cards. I was looking for products, you know, for the drop shipping stuff. So then I looked up some of the Kobe cards I remembered. Hey, Cage, do you remember on Steinway Street that card shop, the Strike Zone?
Yeah, Strike Zone.
Oh, you do?
Yep, 100%, 100%. One of the bigger shops. You know, it's funny. I was going to ask you about this because you know you're in the city. There are no card stores in the city. Isn't that crazy?
Well, rent is insane, man.
I know, rent's nuts, but I remember Strike Zone. Go ahead, tell
Yeah,
me, you got a Strike Zone story? You went in there and bought some Kobe's?
So when I was that's when I was collecting in 6th, 7th grade. You know what I mean? When I was getting the Kobe, I used to go into Strike Zone. I used to see these cards that are worth like 200, 300. I'm like, oh hell no, because my dad literally gave me $1 a day for lunch. You know what I mean? And some days I didn't eat lunch. I just saved up to buy a couple of packs of cards. Believe it or not, maybe it's like the little degenerate gambling inside me. You know what I mean? Like anybody else at a young age. Like I wanted to hit something big. But I bought packs, and what I was ripping back then, I still remember, was Black Diamond was big. Upper Deck Black Diamond was big. It was like a hollow foil, nice shiny cards and stuff. I never got the triple diamond, quad diamond, all that. I never pulled anything big actually. So, anyways, damn, where was I? Oh yeah. So my collecting journey. Yeah, I got a little side. So,
Kobe does this to Andrew too. Don't worry about it. He gets Kobe stories. It's woo. That's it. He loses this track too.
So back to So when I was online, so I was checking some of those cards I saw at Strike Zone. There were 300, 200, and guess what I saw at 2012, 20. I was like, holy crap! They're like 1,200, 1,500, 2,000, 2,500. I'm like, wow, people actually buying this? Like, oh, interesting. Okay. Then I did a little bit more research, and at that year, when I got back in, I went like I wanted all those cards when I was a kid, because I had a little bit of money, for my business and all that stuff. I was like, I definitely want to just buy it. So that's where I built like a good deep portion of my PC. Like the cards that I have that are so big right now is the cards I bought back then, and I just never sold. Part of success in the hobby is knowing when to sell. Some people, they see a double on a big card, but for whatever reason, maybe they just need the money, or they want a double. Double is a double. Like in stocks, like you got to sell. You know what I mean? But I just kept everything, and that was 2012, 2013. So I went on a little buying binge. I spent maybe like $5,000 to $7,000 around that time, and I just kind of like put them away. And then around 2018. I went back and checked online what the cards I bought those years ago, and then I was floored. I was shook. I was like, no freaking way. Like I bought like a 2007 Topps Chrome white refractor Kevin Durant out of 99, not even the rookie, not even the base refractor. I bought it for 400, and then I knew it was worth like 10, 15 grand or something ridiculous. That's just one hit. I bought it like a Michael Jordan Final Floors auto that for 1,200. PSA 9 and Golden last week did 18,000. I was like no freaking way. So I was buying like the cards that I knew that were rare, they were important. Like I had that mentality back then. So then I was like, that was a success. I found out that I did something right at 20. So that's when I went basically slowly getting all into the hobby. In 2019, I just went full on all into the hobby head on, and I'm staying to my collecting roots. Like I'm not just buying a whole bunch of base cards for like flipping. I know that's a whole thing a lot of guys do. It's you could take different routes in the hobby. That's not my route. Like I know my niche, what I'm good at. I'm just gonna stick with it. I didn't buy Pokemon or none of that. Like I don't get into all that hype. So that's my origin story, I guess.
So you know what you know, and you buy what you love, right? And even though
there
is something else that's hot, you don't get distracted by the new shiny toy. I need to learn that every now and again too. I mean, base became hot. You go on a crazy ride in the hobby this year. I mean, if you don't put your blinders on sometimes and stick with what you understand, what you know, what you've been successful with, you find yourself going down a path of buying Topps 2020.
Yeah, Project.
The Project 2020 stuff, right?
Remember that was big. Everybody was like, "Oh my God, there are cardboard millionaires overnight." You know what I mean? That term, cardboard millionaires overnight. They spend like 5,000, now it's worth $1 million. Like now it's what? It's worth, I don't even know. Like I don't even follow that, but I know it's
now the best part of Project 2020 are those bubble mailers that the cards came in. Because I use them every day. I spend $15 on the card to get a bubble mailer that's worth more than the card now. Hey, it's a great, but it is great advice for our guys. And I mean, it's great to have somebody come on and talk about that. I mean, we've had quite a few guests that also had some success in the hobby over the last decade. A lot of them were smart enough to get in, or lucky enough, or whichever way you want to do it. Maybe probably a combination of two in 2012, 2013, when Prism was getting big, when some of those cards were getting big, and you were able to get in way before any of the run up on cards. But we do have a lot of people who are heavily invested in base and silver. Andrew and I have actually started talking about this past week, right? There's different ways of doing it, right? I mean,
there's nothing wrong with having 20, 50 Zion bases and 20 Lucas. That's your game, that. You know what I mean? That's your market. Like, you know that I can buy these, you know, before preseason, like 30 Luka bases at 1,400. That's what was happening a lot at the show in Dallas show. Well, I met one kid. He was buying, like, you know, he bought 30 like Luka Prism PSA 10s. You know, I'm like, holy crap, that's a lot. Like, if you do the math, that's about like 35, 40 grand or something. You know, like, I would personally, me, oh hell no. Like, I would if I had that capital to dump, I would play it a different way. But, you know, maybe he knows what he's doing. He has some success. He's gonna buy it at 12, 1,400, maybe sell it at 2,000. You know, $600 on 30 cards. Good for you. But that's just not my.
You just mentioned it, right? And I wanted to ask you, in a world where a lot of people buy only PSA 10s, you know, we're on a PSA 10 kick here. You made your money with really strategic, low pop, scarce, beautiful cards that were PSA 9 and BGS 9, right?
Yeah. Yes.
What did you learn about that? Because, you know, I'm not that educated on the 9s, and it's a different game.
You did it again, by the way, Andrew, before he answers. You started off your question with "in a world," and I told you when you do that, you have to use the movie phone voice. That's it. In a world where everyone buys PSA 10, you've made your money on BGS 9s. So tell us about it.
You highlight the things I say, like systems. You don't like when I say the word systems.
I don't. It's robotic. No. But go ahead, Jay. I'm sorry. I'll take you off tangent, but it is definitely a great question because everybody is.
Shay, let me ask you. Let me actually go different. When you had your drop shipping business, was it important to have systems?
Systems in place? Like, you mean like good clients and like what do you mean?
See, he doesn't even know what you mean by system. He answered your question. It's annoying. It's a weird word, and everybody can interpret it in a different way.
Question. Yeah, but why can't I just elaborate? Like if an order comes in, you need to know that this, and this happens every single time.
Yeah, of course. You got to know the whole system. Are you kidding me? You got to know exactly the process. You got to know like the back of your hand. You got to know like what inventory is even in stock. You're drop shipping. You don't have the inventory in stock. You're actually basically promoting a product with photos, and once it sells, it goes from the third party directly shipped to the consumer. You know what I mean? So you got to be on top of that game. It was a little stressful. That's why I kind of got out of it, because it can be a little stressful. But
I have a system. My system is chaos.
Chaos?
I love it. Thrive in chaos. But talk about the BGS 9s, man. Talk about your BGS 9s and your PSA 9s. That's what we want to hear about.
That's funny. I thrive under pressure. So look, a great example. I love that.
Love this guy. I love this guy.
Who, me or Andrew?
You, man. Forget about Andrew. I'm gonna kick him to the curb in a second. You're gonna be doing this. Can you show up every single day and do a podcast though? That's what Andrew. That's what makes Andrew special. This dude, he is like a Swiss watch.
No, it's actually not a Swiss watch. It is Swiss. It's a Swiss watch. Technically, it's made in Switzerland. But anyways, so yeah, that's a great question. I like that. So look, I'll give you a great example. I'll give you. So look, when I was in 2012, I had the choice of buying Kevin Durant Topps Chrome 2007 orange refractor BGS 9.5 out of 199, right? Or I had the opportunity to buy a BGS 9. 0.5 lower, a white refractor out of 99, right? Guess what I chose? I opted for the lower grade, but a way more rarity, because I just like never seen that white that much. Even back in the day, I just didn't see it as much. And right now, yes, maybe it's a coin flip. I don't know the value of a BGS 9.5 orange, Topps Chrome rookie refractor compared to a white refractor, but I went for the more rarity stuff. And like using that theme, like that's how I picked up the Net Rangers BGS 9.5 Jordan. Like a lot of nobody really sees that card. When I saw it, I was like, for 400, not bad, And so that was my thing. I definitely looked at rarity, and the biggest gain, the knowledge I got was from this blowout form. I don't know what blowout's going on right now. This blowout form had literally every Michael Jordan insert and the pack odds. It's I screenshotted it. It's a great resource. It tells you things you don't even know about, but then you see the rarity, one out of 8,880 packs. And when you think about that now, imagine opening 8,000 prison packs. Like, how much is that going to cost you? Like just ridiculous amount. So I knew like opening these packs, they were expensive, at the time, because if you relate the time and what year, like it was still expensive at that time. So I knew that I was after the rare stuff, and that's what I picked up back then, and I just never sold it. Like it's not like I needed the money, you know what I mean? Like, and I was fortunate enough just to have them. And guess what? I made a video about it. I'm still not selling. There's no
So
reason.
let me ask you, because it's a great thing for our listeners to hear, because we have people who come on here and talk about, I don't want to use the word system, but maybe it's a system, right? So Andrew has a system for eating pancakes so that the bottom pancake gets as much syrup as the top pancake. By the
I
way,
like.
if somebody tells me what movie that's from and puts it in the comments to this, I will give you something. I will give you something good if you tell me what movie that's from. But Andrew has a system for eating pancakes so the bottom pancake gets as much syrup as the top one. It's a good
Wait,
one. All right.
also,
So
stop the
here's the
pancake. What is this?
so I would imagine the system for that is you put some syrup on the plate and then put a pancake on top of it and you name it. But they don't get into that in the movie. But they have a system for eating pancakes. But here's the deal. So system. We've had guests on who I love, and they will tell you that when you buy a card, when you buy a bunch of cards, when you go into this collecting, flipping, fun game that we all are having a blast talking about here on the show and every day, that when you buy a card, you have a number in mind. You set a number. That's going to be your system. That you buy this card and you spend $500 on it, and right from the get-go, you write there in your Excel spreadsheet in your system that when this card hits 5x, when it goes from $500 to $2,500, you are going to sell it because you're going to cash out and you're done. And it's that, and it's concrete, and it's finite, and it's done. You take your money, you make your money, and you move on to the next one. And go find your 5x on something else. Put that $2,500 into something else that you're going to make money on. Right. You, and not everyone's like that, but a lot of our guests have said that. And a lot of I struggle with this myself because I have cards that are now 5x from where I bought them earlier this year. And I'm like, should I be selling these now? Do I have to be that rigid? And you are saying, screw it. The reason why I have so many nice cards is because I haven't sold them. I'm not selling them. Now, half of me says, okay, I'm going to do that, but that's just because I'm lazy. I can just sit on them and do nothing. The other half of me is like, all right, should I be taking some money and trying to find the next thing to go 5x on? So here's the question. That's a lot of buildup. How do you know when to do which?
Okay,
how
great.
do you know? Go ahead.
My answer to that's a great question. Also, like, when do you know? My theory is that that card you got a 5x on that you said, right? Who is that guy? What is the issue? Go more deep into it. Yes, 5x sounds delicious. You know what I mean? If it's a rookie,
wait a second. No. I love it, Andrew. I don't even know if he heard that, but 5x does sound delicious. I love it. Did you hear that, Andrew? 5x sounds delicious.
I got lines for days.
I hear everything, Cage.
It's been a rap. I can't rap, but maybe I could write a few random lines. But anyways, yeah, 5x is amazing. But look if it's like a Kobe White. I actually like Kobe White. I'm just giving you an example. It's a Kobe White card. You know what I mean? Maybe it's like a silver, for example, right? You bought it at $90, right? You graded it for $20. It's so you're in it for 110. And at the show, that's what happened to me. I got when I did a big trade for I did a huge pickup, so I posted it on my page. So I used that card that basically I got a 5x on, right? And I traded it up a whole bunch of other cards. So my thing is that, but if that was like a Jordan card, like a GOAT, LeBron James card, like GOAT, you know what I mean? And the issue is important, you know what I mean? And it's rare, and other whales are gonna probably want that card in the future, and you don't have to sell it. Sell the rookies 5x, 8x, 10x. Get rid of that, you know what I mean? And then you can always buy back later because like there's so many big rookies over the years, and most of them don't pan out if you really look back at it. So if you got big returns on like the newer, younger guys, don't be afraid to take profits, 100%. But definitely before you take profits, know what you're gonna do with that money. That's another thing. Know where you're gonna go. Have a plan already for the next. It's like chess almost. You know what I mean? This game. Like, what are you gonna do with that money? Just sit around cash? No. You have to have a plan already. What are you gonna do with it? So that's my thing. Big cards like Jordan, big inserts. You know what I mean? LeBron, big cards. I just feel like long term, it's just gonna go higher because everybody just it's gonna want it. It's all supply demand. You know what I mean? Everybody's just gonna try to get the best cards. If you have something that you think it's good. Chances are it's going to get bigger and bigger because everybody's trying to climb that ladder. You know what I mean? And they want that card. And there's more and more people wanting it. Demand goes higher. You're the only one that has it. And guess what? Price just goes up. It's a safe.
What I'm hearing is, and I try to break cards into these two categories myself. To me, cards like the LeBron, the Jordan that you mentioned, autos, numbers, autos, patch numbered, those to me are art. And art appreciates by huge multiples, but you don't know when that multiple comes. But if you look at silvers and base cards, that to me is more of stocks. So for those cards, when the base and the silver go 5x, to me, that's a stock that went 5x, and that's a good time to sell, or whatever, 5x, 3x. You could use whatever criteria you want. But that's when the stock of that player has gone up whatever amount, and you're ready to pull your money out. That's a different sell than selling a piece of artwork, right? Because artwork doesn't appreciate like kind of with a linear fashion. Artwork has this exponential increase where like you could even kind of, I don't know if this card is exactly it, but the Kobe Stargate, that card, the beautiful 2000, I think it's the 2000 Stargate. That card was underappreciated for a long time. I believe the PSA 10 of that card just this year was $400, $500, maybe approached 1,000 at some point. And then that card over 1 or 2 months skyrocketed to 9,000 because it was such a low pop card, and the design, the aesthetic of it was so appreciated all of a sudden. And that to me is two different categories of cards. We have a hard stop at 2. So I want to ask you about the Dallas show, but go ahead, Shay. You were going to say something there.
That's actually, damn, you're actually very, very smart, Andrew, believe it or not. Like the way you differentiate it, like the Prism Silvers, you know what I mean?
He doesn't look it, right? Like just looking at him now, you get to see him. You're surprised. You're like,
I look like a schmuck. Like, look at this.
No,
he sneaks up on people. That's why we like him.
I like Andrew's thinking.
I think we all sneak up on people. If you look at the room we got here, we all got our little quirks, but we sneak up on people.
Yeah,
I was talking to Shay about that.
Put that into perspective. You're right. The cards I'm holding, they're basically art piece type. You're 100% right with that. And that was a great differentiation. The stuff I didn't sell, like the Platinum Portraits, I don't know if you know that card. It's a 90s insert. It has like die cuts, see-through card.
The little cuts in it. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah,
that card's great.
Yeah. It was like, you know, it was designed by Arena Designs, and they were like top of the game, you know. So like those cards, when I looked at them, they look special. You know what I mean? So I'm not selling them. And people are saying cardboard's going to be art. You have those special cards. Guess what? A lot of people are going to want them. So that's that. I don't know what you wanted me to mention about Dallas. Like, what do you want me to like go on about that?
Well, here's the thing, and I wanted to have a conversation. People have been waiting for card shows all year, right? Like I went to a card show in Westchester in January. Then we had a card show, Valley Forge one in February, and then March till I believe this show in Dallas, excluding a few local shows. This was the first big show, right?
Exactly.
So like, I'd love to. You were there. You were making deals. I think you were in the trade room that card collector set up. I'm not totally sure. Just give us like a quick 15-minute, just like wrap the market mover today.
I think so. Listen. Dallas was the first big card show since the extreme hype, because the Nationals last year and everything started building on, you know, Gary V, you know, I'm not going to say pump cards, but, you know, Gary V talking about cards, great. It's the new arts and all that stuff. So the next show is supposed to be the Nationals, and guess what? Obviously it didn't happen. So this was our Nationals in a weird sense. You know what I mean? We had some of the most top famous guys that you guys see on Instagram. They had booths and tables. So I actually made the decision to go to the Nationals literally at 11 p.m. on that, what was it, Thursday night. Like, I was like, you know what? I just got to get out there. You know what I mean? Like, I'm too obsessed with the hobby. I have to go out there and just like put my foot in and see like the real, like the real hobby. You know what I mean? People trading, booths, like the interaction, you know what I mean? All that stuff. So thank God I made that decision to go. And as soon as I got there, believe it or not, first day, I was actually a little nervous going in. And I was like overwhelmed by like just the size and the millions of cards and all that. And it's after about maybe 15 minutes, like few of the people, my hobby buddies, I guess, you know, that we've been chatting and stuff like that, they like tapped me on the shoulder, believe it or not. They told me, hey, Shayway, like, what's going on? And I was like, oh, Nitin, you know, oh, Dennis, you know what I mean? Like all these guys that we both know, most likely.
Shout out Nitin and Dennis, man. Sound like good dudes.
Yeah.
I hope I'm in the inner circle one day, Shayway.
No, you are, man. After this conversation, I the way you think is actually very, very, I like it a lot. Like I can pick up what kind of thinker you are, and I think you'll do amazing in the hobby. You're gonna have a ridiculous career because you can differentiate things that I can't articulate, you know, that you can do. Anyways, enough bragging about you. It's
not me. I'm gonna lose all my mind. I put all my money in Devontae Graham.
UK deals with Gary. I know that story, you know, like he wiped you out, you know what I mean? After that big deal that you bought a card, you held it for 3-4 years, and after you sold it to him, he popped to Gary V.
Yep.
Did you? Yeah.
That, by the way, that has happened more times than I care to admit.
Oh,
I
wow.
sold Gary Vee 36 Klay Thompson 2012 PSA 10s for
Oh,
$80 each.
no. Man,
But for me, I was in the cards for like, $20, including grading fees. So to me, that was 4X. It's exactly
yeah,
what we're talking about. How do you know when to get out on a card and whatnot,
yeah,
So,
yeah. A couple. Just a couple. You don't gotta go all out. But anyways, that's a whole other story. um,
true.
so yeah, I'm at the card show. These people like, tapping me, and the people that I associated myself with, they collect similar type of, interesting pieces. You know what I mean? They have a bright mind. So they told me, yo, like, don't even look at these boots. Like, I know what you want. Like, go to, like, for example, go to MC Sports Cards. I've heard about him. He has like 20,000 followers. Big shout out to MC Sports Cards. I go to his booth, and this LeBron gold autograph gold card was just sitting on his booth. I was like, holy crap. Like, I know out of the whole show, I want that. Like, I want it now. I'm going to do what it takes to close that deal. Like, I am not going to, like, play around. I'm not leaving. And I was so glad that I found his booth, and he got vouched by, like, a lot of people told me, like, they did deals with him and everything's good. So we went back and forth, and guess what? I actually made a deal. So going into the card show, for any new collectors, old collectors, I think everybody could relate, is when I went in, my intention was to use the least amount of capital and use the cards I have equity in to trade up, condense to get a bigger card. That was my number one goal going into the Dallas card show.
So don't jump off that for a sec. That's an important thing I want people to hear. All right? This is big for our listeners. One, it's great that PSA gave you that backpack because you were able to stock it full of your cards and walk around the show with a backpack full of cards. So that's number one. Number two, and now you got two of them too. So you can two backpacks. But guys, think of it this way, right? And we make these comparisons all the time. Things that are overlays with the hobby, things that you know and you understand, and now you're getting to the hobby because it kind of is the same thing. When you do your fantasy trades, what are you trying to do? You're trying to parlay your third and fourth round wide receiver and running back into somebody's second round running back. You're trying to parlay your third and fifth rounder into their first round quarterback, whatever it may be, right? You're trying to take two quality guys who are starters on your team and upgrade a position. And when you make a trade, you always want to be the guy who comes out of it with the number one part of it, the higher end of it, right? The one solid one where you're putting some good pieces together, but you're leaving with the best end of it, right? And that's what he's telling you to do, right? It's the same thing with cards, right? If you have your eye on a bigger piece, try not to put an outlay of cash. Try to use the cards that you already put your cash into. Try to use cards that you have less cash into that have appreciated, and level those up, right? So stare it, right? You add in, if you want $1,000 card, throw in three $350 cards that cost you $50 each, and you graded them. Like, that's the way you should try to do it. Always try to leave that trade where you're getting the monster card out of it without outlaying that cash. But go ahead, I just wanted to kind of bolster what you're saying for our audience. That's all.
Yeah, 100%. You hit it on the dot. And mind you, if you're a collector that wants to do something similar, like you want to condense like some cards, you have some equity built in, trying to get that bigger card. But not all dealers will just take any card that just went up. Like, you have to think they're dealers. Like, they have business they're running. They're buying and selling and trading literally every day, more than you could think of. You know what I mean? It's a whole business. It's their whole life. They're doing monster deals. So what do you think they want? They want liquid cards. You know what I mean? Yep. They want cards that's hot, like even that's hot right now, that they can move fast. So that's one of the cards I gave them was a Kobe White Prism Silver PSA 10. I was in it for 110. I got value of 670. I am, hallelujah, thankful. Great. You know what I mean? It feels like free money almost. You know what I mean? And then like other cards I gave, like some Kobe rookies that I bought from a long time ago, the Bowman Chrome, I was in it for like, I think 120. I got a value of like, I think 900. But the real value, mind you, when you do this, have the intention knowing that you're not going to get full value in these trade type deals. Like, mentally prepare to like value your card less than comps when condensing a whole bunch of cards that you have equity in to trade up for a big card. Because you got to make the dealer win also. You got to make him feel like, it's a fair deal. Even though towards the end of the day, your capital, like the big card that you landed, if you considered how much money in the cards you put in that you traded away, it's like, oh my God, I got this like $5,000 card for only like maybe $800. You feel good. Like, you know, you feel great at the end of the day because and the cards that I'm trading up to is like legends, it's goats. You know what I mean? It's LeBron James auto, gold. Like that type of card, I could sleep well at night. With the Kobe White Prism Silver PSA 10, I can't. I want to sleep well at night. So that's my take in trading up and condensing cards and
I
how to
miss shows. That's something I really do. I mean, that's part of why Andrew was asking you to, you know, to kind of chat a little bit about the show, because it's something just hasn't happened that much this year, right? It's that it's that in person, trade your cards, you know, get that stuff in front of you. It's that excitement of it's a different level than what you get on, you know, live breaks or whatever else it is. I mean, I got to get to a show. I haven't been to a show. It's been too long. So maybe I think the Dallas one's again in maybe January.
So yeah, so like it is. There's another one in January, and I may like inside scoop. I may have a table there, guys. So definitely come to my table and buy something for me. I'm gonna have some nice inventory with PSA, giving me all my orders. You know,
yes, sir.
Debacle. I'll have a table. You know, I'll have a good variety. You know, I'll bring some PC stuff, and you know, we can chat, hobby, get to know me, and all that fun, good stuff. But I was very happy that I went to that show because I met a lot of interesting people. It's not about just cards and money; it's the stories, and I picked up a lot of vibes from different people, like what they think, their mannerisms. You know, like that many big cards. I want to see like what he's thinking, how he acts, how he talks to me. I picked up a lot from different dealers, what kind of cards they have, and different collectors that were walking around and how they kind of their mannerisms and how they interact with me. Like I learned actually more than I even knew that I was going to learn by going to the show. Like,
so I'll put you on the spot. Give me two lessons, because our guys, most of them didn't get to go there. I didn't get to go there. Give me two quick ones. What kind of cards, RPAs, you know, steering towards these.
So
give me two quick hitters.
One is a little strange and weird. It's
that's what we're here for. Andrew's always about the strange and the weird.
Yeah,
so
two dealers that I met there, right? That had like a smaller type of collection, but big cards. I'm talking Luca RPA, just randomly, you know, Luca National Treasures RPA 9.5, just sitting there with like another gigantic freaking 90s card, like 97 Jordan game used jersey card sitting next to it. You know what I mean? He had like just monsters after monster, and I looked at him. And then I saw his dress, like the way he dressed, the way he spoke, and the way he carried himself. I realized they work out, so I gotta start working out. They had like they were like in well shape. That's what I noticed. They were shaped well. Like they had muscles, like not
dude,
like big. Like,
you're telling me I gotta quit? I gotta quit this hobby now. I can't be in shape. Come on, man.
Everybody has their niche. So like I picked up a little few things. You know, like they don't have 1,000 cards. They have maybe 10 cards in their little booth, but they were all like, what the hell, like just monster, like exquisite, like 03 exquisite Jordan, you know what I mean?
So do those guys go there expecting to sell or move one of those, or they're going there because they're going to spend the weekend showing off their muscles and their cards?
Guess what? So I actually watched a $50,000 deal just happen. You know, like I got word of it, and I knew the guy, like the one of the booth, limited logos, Kobe. Some Asian lady, Chinese lady came in, literally just dropped 40,000 in cash right in front of the dude. You know what I mean? And he wanted like I think 50K for that. I think limited logos Kobe with the finger pointing. I don't know if you know.
Yep, I know the card.
Yeah. So I think he wanted like 50K. I can't even remember the grade. You know, but I was so overwhelmed, and she just came in, dropped 40,000, and I think she closed the deal to. She was, and he was like, go up more, and she was like, "There's 40K in cash. I'm Asian. You know how that all works. You know, they got money up to Wahoo. I can say Wahoo, right? That's
you can say whatever you want. But we've crossed a couple of lines here today. I mean, first since she's Chinese, you sure she wasn't Japanese? Iceberg, Goldberg, they're all the same.
Goldberg, that's hilarious. But she closed a big deal. You know what I mean? So people are buying these big cards. Like that's another thing. I couldn't believe people say 100,000. Did it really sell? Is somebody really buying this card for 6 figures? Like, who are you? Like, is this happening? Because I see it on the internet, but you don't believe everything. And guess what? It's happening. I was fever after going to that show. And I think Grant, Waldorf Stories, I'm sure he picked up like that 03 LeBron, Michael Jordan limited logos card 9.5. He posted it on his story. He bought it from, I think, Jameson's booth. Like, I'm saying these things, it's all public. I don't want to, like walk on people's toes in their deals, but it was public. So like, it's public information. I'm just like relaying it to you. So I realized those guys were buffed. They were ripped. So I want to be buffed and ripped in January, when I get a table and, have the cards, because I look up like the way they're playing the game is kind of like how I could see myself maybe playing the game. You know what I mean? Not like having thousands and thousands of cards. I want to have like less stress and have nicer, bigger cards, but less quantity. So that was my Dallas show. Another highlight was, I saw one of my friends literally do like a $50,000 deal. He traded like 2 LeBron rookie auto cards and like 3 more other big cards for one card that he's going to hold for only 48 hours. And he's going to go out, trade it for his dream card. You'll see the post soon.
Love that.
So,
Love that, like a little 3-team trade.
Well, the little key to that, right, is it's. I mean, listen, guys, if you are listening to this, we'll go back, replay a couple points of this. But one of the things he said was, he said, when you're going to sell cards, don't just sell to sell and get into cash, right? So, and that's part of what I'm actually going through right now, because some of these basketball cards, some of the Prism base PSA 10s and some of the silvers, they get to a point now before the season where I'm like, I may actually take some cash to the table. But I haven't found that card that I'm going to roll that cash into. And listen to what he just said. He's got a friend who made a trade, parlayed a couple of LeBron rookie autos into another card. But that card is just a means to an end for another one. Like he said a couple minutes ago, think of it like a chess game, playing chess. And that's a perfect example, right? This guy's taking 3 moves ahead of trading these cards to get this card, but that card's just a means to get another card. And that's really important because, don't just sell to sell. Sell if you need money, sell to pay your credit cards off, which is what I need to do. But sell because you have another card in mind, another investment in mind, someplace where you're going to divert that money. And, hopefully it's going to make more money than holding the card.
Exactly. Just to touch on that, like the whales, obviously we know, the whales that have these huge, enormous PCs, guess what? Money is not their number one priority, believe it or not. That's what I'm starting to realize. The guys that have the really, really monster collection. Yes, I mean, sometimes obviously you have to raise capital to get your own card if you're like a whale. But if it's a very special card, you're drinking Coke out of a 2-liter.
It's Coke Zero, yeah. I drink straight out of a 2-liter. I do this to upset Andrew.
You're not upsetting me. You're upsetting your immune system.
This was
it's
full.
Not me. I'm not there.
This was full when we started. So we got an hour in. I'm about to slam the 2-liter. You want me to finish it?
You're a big Coke guy. No pun intended. Coca-Cola.
What's the pun? Shay, tell us your where people could find you, please.
Oh yeah, definitely. My Instagram is Shaiwayvlogs, SHAIWAYVLOGS, and I do have a YouTube link there. Oh, guys, if you guys go to my YouTube, you're gonna see some very cringe stuff. I was an actor before, and I was in some weird stuff. So it's probably going to be there. So there's some cringeworthy stuff. And after seeing that, you're going to be like, should I even take this guy seriously? You know what I mean? But I don't know.
I'll answer that question. Luca Nation, if you're out there listening and you have a podcast, you're putting out content, bring this guy on because he's a hidden gem. If there's a stock, I'm buying a stock in you, Shay.
Oh, wow.
Because I think in the next few years, the world's going to know. Because you have this you're very thoughtful, like we talked about chess and, seeing the strategy, but you also have personality. And you've got this likability to you that I think the market's going to really pick up on.
I'm going to exit stage left here, guys. I'll let you guys do your thing.
And on that note, we actually have a really special. I booked back to back, so we got to drop off. Shay, it was such a pleasure to have you on, man. You're good vibes.
Shay, listen, guys, do me a favor before you drop off. Tell everybody where to find you on Instagram.
Were you not listening?
Do it anyway. Shaiwayvlogs, right?
Yes, Shaiwayvlogs on Instagram. Please follow me, show support. I'll be on live. It's fun. I like to have fun. I'm here to have fun in the hobby. Stop being serious, everybody.
Yeah.
Technical. Just relax. Just chill out.
That's it, man. We're having some fun. Thank you.
Exactly.
We appreciate it.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. All right. Have a good one.
See you, brother.
All right.
Thank you for spending some time with us on another episode of the Lucas, Tigers, and Bronze Oh My podcast. Do us a favor and subscribe. You know what? Don't just like and subscribe. Everybody does that. If you like us, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your enemies, tell everybody. And we hope you got something from spending some time with us today, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.